Hello everyone. Okay, we pick off from where we left. So what we had is we actually needed um a way to damage the player. So this is what we got last time. Now the lips enemy can actually shoot at us, as you can see. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, just like that. Nice. And what's gonna happen now is we will we will oh, it just occurred to me. You know here where we are setting the player, hey, set player to that player. Well, we can do it in the player actually. So let's do that. In mscene, set player, I mean this. Okay, we also we need to make, you see the player is an entity, so the entity, we know it has health. We did that in the past. We didn't set the health for the player, which we should. I think the enemy projectiles have a damage of 1, so we need to take in like 3 or 4, let's say like 4 hits before we go down. Seems like an okay number. And also, do we have, oh, I didn't want to do that. Do we have a way to die? So the player has this function but nothing happens. Yeah, we should have something done to us when we get damage. We need invincibility frames, definitely. So we have this hurt time. We can use the hurt time as the invincibility frames. What can we copy from here? Let's copy also the death function. And we might want to put those into the entity, but I mean, sure, why not? Virtual void death. That seems okay. And in the player, we just add this. Okay. And we also spawn in a explosion particle. We have this hurt time, like that. There is an issue here. I don't think there's an issue, officer. Apparently there is. So we changed this, we added the virtual void death thing, which looks okay to me. This looks like I'm missing like a semicolon or something, and we initialize this, no problem with that. I'm losing my voice. Player, this, we said, hey, we have this virtual void death function and we override it, which is good. Let's clean this and try to build. Let's see if it still has issues. So, okay, it doesn't know who explosion particle is. We can just include that, not a big deal. Okay, so apparently there are no issues, apparently. So we have this hurt time. We can copy the So we can also have a red tint whenever we are damaged. So let's go into the enemy. And we don't actually have it here, we have it in here with the hurt time. Let's go into the player, copy this, so we are red now when we get damaged. Color. Let's also go here, add in the color. Other entities might not want that. This is why I'm doing it separately. And we can also say if hurt time is greater than 0, we just do delta time out of it. I think that's the same logic as in here. It is. Looks good. Okay, let's remove these. We don't actually need those. Now we should actually get damaged, and we will actually, well, we should be able to crash the game now, and you'll see why. Well, actually, we might not crash the game. Yeah, so we didn't crash the game because the object, we didn't delete the object, which is an okay thing. Now, when we die, obviously we want to push on like a screen onto the scene and stuff like that. Not deleting the player, it's pretty okay, I think, because then all the enemies, everyone will still have a reference to you. It will still have, you know, the whole class details. It's just that you can't do anything, right? So you're just removed from the entity list. Now, obviously, we do need a way now to restart the game. And we also do need a way to we do need a way to clear all the entities. So that's all good and fine. The thing is, we should actually delete the player. This way, well, we should actually delete all the entities that get removed. So, and well, we also have an issue where entities don't actually get removed when they are outside of the screen on the bottom. So we also would want that. So, let's remove the mobs if they are outside of the scene on the bottom. So it's a quick thing we want to do here. We can just check if the position is higher than 8 times 64, which I believe is the actual width, the actual height, which seems to be. Now, obviously, we will need to change that. We need to make it globally visible, but for now, we'll just do that. We will simply delete the entity if it's there. Let's do the same thing for Bonbon. Void enemy Bonbon on outside scene. Let's do that. Man, so much code for such little features. This is why I don't like this sort of coding paradigms. Okay, so we have this. Let's go into the labs, which hopefully already have this. Just like that. And now enemies will actually get deleted outside of the screen when they are like at the bottom. And now in the scene, we actually want to delete those entities. So when we remove them here, we actually want to do like delete that particular allocated region for the entity, and then we remove it from the list. And what will happen is we will actually get like a null thing, but if we want to quickly fix that, we can simply, we know we are the player, so we can quickly say, hey, if we die, just set the player to a null pointer. And because we don't have a reference to other entities, we don't keep references, and if so, what we could have is we would have to set them invalid somehow, and we had to check that. But we don't have to do it in our case. This will work just fine. It's just that now, wherever we use this get player, after we die, it's gonna be null. And so we can check for that, so we can fix the crashes. So whenever the player will die, you'll see the game will crash at some point, like that. And it was in here when it tried to shoot the player. We also had it. We have it in Bonbon, where the yellow thing tries to go towards us, to dash towards us. So we also want that there. Let's see, Bonbon, like that. And now the game won't crash after we die. This is the check I was talking about in the last episode that I said we won't do, but hey, guess what? We freestyled ourselves into doing it. And as you can see, it won't crash anymore. Nice. So we can die now, so we should be careful. We should also die on impact when other entities are colliding with us. So we should add that thing actually. So if we go into the enemy, on collision here, if other mtag is player, so we are hitting the player, we should just damage him. And what we can do is cast this game object to an entity, dynamic cast, this other pointer. We also check for this to be valid, and then we say, hey, just receive. This is basically the same logic as in the projectiles. Receive damage, and it's gonna be 1. So if we get touched now, we get 1 damage. Okay, we got touched quite a lot. Let's see, can we reproduce that? Oh my god, we died instantly. So is not the hurt time thing working? It might not actually. We should actually receive this time, this damage. Oh yeah, it just doesn't care about the hurt time. So we should check if the hurt time is lower or equal to 0. Only then we can actually, well, if it's greater than 0, let's just early exit. If it's greater than 0, we just return. So we won't get damaged if hurt time was set. So we now shouldn't die instantly. It was basically damaging us Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay, we don't have a lot of health. Or is just that the invincibility frame is just too small? Hurt time. We do have 4 health here, so let's do it like that. Yeah, okay, it was just that this was too small. The invincibility frames were too small. So the time we were invincible was too small. Yeah. Okay, so that looks okay. All good in this town. Let's see. We want do we start to create screens now? Or should that be like a brand new episode? We could start to create the screens now. Yeah, why not? So I'm thinking we could do the UI in terms like overlays, like things rendered on top of things and so on. So we could do that at some point. But yeah, you know what? We might actually do it in the next episode. So because it's gonna be, we would have just to write a bunch of code, and I don't think we will do it in like 30 minutes or so. And I think this is an okay stop to this episode. Now we do have the ability to actually damage the player. The player can die, it won't crash, so all is good. Enemies get cleared when they get down here, so it's all fine in the bonkers city. I don't even know what I'm talking about. So I guess this is a shorter episode. See you next time when we are doing overlays and we will be able to actually reset the game. Maybe, and well, we would have the ability to add menus actually. So see you there.